Yeah, the company's just over 2 years old now. As you said, we did a second raise that has helped us to obviously focus on bringing more products to the marketplace. And the Clypd platform has a release basically every Friday with new updates in it. So, it's been interesting to watch how quickly the business has grown for us. The number of partnerships that we've put in place since the beginning, really the end of last year and into 2015, has just accelerated the need to continue to evolve the platform, as has the entire ecosystem kind of formulating what it wants programmatic to be in television. So we're responding to that from a seller's perspective.
So tell us a little bit about some of your customers, particularly the cable programmers, and sort of what they've been doing and what you hope to bring and how you're changing the game and some of those implementations.
Yeah, sure. You may have read about it in the upfront marketplace this year. A lot of the big programming groups began to accelerate things that began a year ago, for example, where they're taking secondary data sets, going beyond Nielsen age and gender, and finding ways to help marketers and their agencies really get into better targeting within the linear program environment. It's not addressable, it's the propensity targeting of linear television, but when you can expose behavioral attributes in those audiences and use those to really define what is the schedule of inventory that somebody's going to run, it really does help on the back end get a better return. So we've been a big part of helping them take whatever data sets that they want to make use of. And there's plenty of new third-party data sets in the marketplace, even Nielsen's existing Catalina and NBI data, Rentrack data, TRA, TiVo data. All of these sets can be utilized to begin to analyze inventory beyond age and gender in ways that really do help them do better targeting for their customers. So we make use of that.
So you guys make use of that data, and how about the buy side, and how does that work in terms of the integration of your product, or if you facilitate the buy side, or is it just an analytics platform?
No, it's definitely a transaction platform as well. I mean, Clypd does provide the pipes and the connections to any demand source that a media owner chooses to use. So we work specifically for the sell side. We're not a rep firm or a reseller, but we do allow them to make connections to any demand source they want to transact with. That can come either through a direct integration into a buying platform, a DSP for example, or if it's a traditional TV buyer who hasn't adopted a buying platform yet, Clypd actually has a buyer UI, a front end that they can use. So for example, we've customized the front end portal for ESPN and for Discovery networks so that they can invite buyers onto the platform in a private marketplace environment and do transactions with a set of business rules that they define around that, specifically for individual accounts and clients that each of those agencies that they want to do business with would have.
So how much of the marketplace is around this scenario, and where might it go in the next year?
It's interesting to see the acceleration this year. I can't give you specifics on the amount of dollar volume that's behind it, but certainly the adoption has been there when you see how many different agencies are stepping up to want to transact with media owners in evaluating these secondary target criteria. It's still in the early stages, there's no doubt about it, but the appetite for delivering better results for the client and the advertiser at the end of the day is there. So I think there's going to be a lot of learning that happens in this next year, but what you're going to see is probably broader adoption across more media owners and certainly more accounts within the agency community who want to make use of it.
Does the term programmatic TV fit, or is it sort of not fit, or what does programmatic TV mean to you?
Yeah, well, if you ask 10 people, you get 10 different definitions. From a Clypd perspective, programmatic really means two things. It is automating the workflows to whatever degree makes sense for the media owner and their buy-side partners, and really, and then making use and operationalizing rich data sets that go beyond age and gender. So from our perspective, we are data agnostic. We allow the media owners to choose whatever data sets they want to make use of to expose the value of inventory and actually optimize results of selling against that inventory in ways that best serve their needs, but also deliver the highest concentration of secondary impressions that the targets that they're trying to achieve for clients are interested in delivering. So it's fun to watch how the adoption of this is really starting to accelerate. We saw lots of mentions across across it in the upfront, and we're seeing utilization as people begin to launch schedules now in fourth quarter, beginning of the broadcast year for 2015-2016.
Now, there's a lot of talk about the promise of addressable, and right now it's certainly limited. The number of set-top boxes are limited. The technology is limited. The inventory, of course, is limited. How do you see that developing? Sort of, and how you guys will play in that world of addressable TV?
Yeah, I mean, the Clypd platform is certainly designed to develop impression-level inventory management and optimization, and we have serviced one of our strategic partners is unveil, and they are the biggest provider of technology for set-top box targeting. As you said, the operators are the ones, it's the satellite companies, and a couple of the MSOs are making use of it. And as that grows, and as video on demand, single impressions, one-to-one delivery continues to grow. The Clypd platform is really designed to allow a media owner to accommodate that and include those impressions as part of their strategic selling efforts with linear inventory. So, that's it's an interesting part of the ecosystem that's coming together, as is digital video. The video agnostic approach. One of our sisters now in the RTL investment is SpotX, and we've begun to work with them to develop solutions that advertisers and media owners actually can use to bring together the impressions across screens that I think are going to be pretty interesting. So hopefully in the next month or so we'll have some big announcements for that.